Yeah, well,
There may be someone who's like, but in the virtual studio,
yeah, sounds good.
so the first question that was presented, and I think it was the one that I can now let's go take it out. Let's talk.
It's an emotional song.
On the table, like anything basically not normally do with everyone else. Everybody else. So if you can like
And like we discussed yesterday, is different for everyone. So, what love may be to you is different from me. So finding it with somebody in particular, even though they have their flaws and they're not perfect, quote unquote, it's still that love that
Yeah.
you bring to someone's life that no one else pretty
So,
much
so
has.
you don't think love has absolute? Like it can't be the same thing across the board.
It
Yeah.
can, but it reaches more when two people or however many is involved these days can
Mm.
agree on it.
Mm.
Cause like I feel like an absolute love would be like something you would have for like your child. You love that no
Right.
part
Period.
regardless. This my
Yeah.
daughter, that's my son. In relationships, it kind of don't work like that. It can be like that, but it's just more easier. It naturally comes that way. Like love is just different on different levels.
First Corinthians says what love is, but we don't ever go there with it. Ladies in the virtual studio, can you hear us now?
Yes.
yes,
Yay.
yes.
So what is love to you all? Like what is love? Rosa, you go ahead and go first. Jackie, I see you getting your poetic thoughts together. Let's go.
Um, love is an action. I believe, just like I said yesterday, that love is more than what I consider it to be.
Love is that thought of compromise that I will bend what I've been taught love to be to love you the way
Hmm.
you desire. Because if I love you by giving you a blue cup every day, but you hate blue cups, and then I say, "Oh, but I've loved you the best way I can." Did I really
Right.
love you? Or did I only love you the way I knew how to love you? I think love is
Mm.
a compromising thing. You have to get in there, and I have to figure out, or you have to be able to articulate to me how you want to be loved. If you've not, if you've learned that already. If you've not learned it, I've got to be willing to grow with you. It's very rare that we
Hmm.
both love the same way. So it's a very compromising, unselfish thing, love.
Okay. Thank you, Jackie. What is love?
I definitely can agree with that. Love is compromising, love is give or take. I'm
Hmm.
gonna love you through your faults. I'm gonna love you through your positives. I'm gonna love you in spite of your bad breath. I'm still gonna love you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna love you, and I'm gonna love you to the best of my ability. And then, as the sister said, if I don't know how to love you, then teach me. Teach me
Hmm.
how to love you.
So it's nothing wrong with being taught how to love someone or being taught somebody's love languages or, you know, it's nothing wrong with that.
No.
No, not at
There's
all.
nothing wrong with it, but I feel like people get
No.
offended by it. Like, yeah, when you try to show them, like, hey, this is what I like, they're like, well, I already know. You got people that kind of feel like they know naturally. You have to be open to be learning, to be
Yeah.
teachable. You have to be open to be teachable.
Because
Right.
because I am,
It's a
I feel like
mature
I give
thing.
love.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to be
Yeah,
grown
right,
enough to
right,
be like, you
right.
know what, I can sit here and listen because everybody want to be leaders. Everybody want to be in charge. Everybody
Right.
want to know. So
Okay.
you got to be able to take that in first to be able to be a student again.
I got you. So I see you, Rose. I'm gonna come to you in a second. When you talk about teaching somebody how to love or them teaching you how to love them, if I give this blanket of love this way all the time, I am who I am, and this is what I give. Um, why do I have to switch that up for you? This is what I give all the time. This is the love I give. Like what?
I definitely need to switch it up for me.
Switch it up for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just like not me personally, but just me
It should be personalized.
in general. Yeah, definitely. I can't.
Mm.
You can't blanket. You can't blanket your love
Okay. Rosa, what's up?
or not.
Right. She looks a little frozen there. So, I give this blanket of love. What is love? Now she's not frozen. Okay. We
I,
got you. Come on back to us. Okay. While she comes back, Jackie, what you got?
Um, I've looked at the love languages,
Mhm.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it like 5?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this from my standpoint. You got 5 languages that you can choose from. I'm
Figure it out.
really not picky, so you can pick combination 1, combination 4, combination 5, and you could show me you love me. So
Yeah. Right, it should be no issues. Like out of all of those, but do you respond more to one or the other?
Um, kind of, sort of, not really, because I mean, affirmations. I need to hear you say I love you. I
Yeah.
also need to feel. I also need for you to show me you love me, or vice versa.
Mm.
And then spending time could equate to I love you.
Yeah.
Some people,
Good quality time.
yeah, quality time. So, I mean, like I said, I'm really not hard to please when it comes to that. I'm giving
Mhm.
you have options to love me.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then it's not a love is not different for everybody. We got a standard. The standard is, I guess, the 5 love languages.
So typically, and I say this from a clinical standpoint, the 5 love languages are based on research. Like
Right.
there are
Yeah.
only so
Right.
many
Right.
ways that I can give you
Correct.
these things. Like
Correct.
I can either touch you, I can talk to you, I can do a service, I can spend time, or I can buy you things.
Right. Correct.
Out
Mhm.
of those 5, like what else could I possibly do? I mean, what
And I
else?
mean, it's other things.
How else
I
could-
don't think. I
what?
think when people say 5, like it's not literally them just the 5 basics.
Yeah.
I feel
Those
like
are
it's.
the
Yeah.
I feel like it's other
Blanket.
ways you probably could. They just say them just the 5 basic go-to
The 5
scenarios.
basics, right?
how else
But
though?
they blanket though. They can pretty much cover everything that you would need
Right.
from a person. I
But
would
it's
think.
supposed to be like a basic. So how you can say like I feel like love is supposed to be personalized. Like you can't love one person the same way you do the other. So that's what you do. You
Right.
find a little bit of this, how she said, do a little
Right.
bit of that,
I agree.
and make your own custom. It's like making a 2K player. You make your own personal
On
version of
Right.
love.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Oh
Your
yeah, I
own
want to be
mixtape,
this
your
type of
own
height.
mixtape.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you customize it for that particular
Right.
person.
Right.
In order to be able to love somebody else and to be able to do that for somebody else, you have to be able to do that for yourself. So
Right.
do you truly know who you are, what you like, and what you need? That I would like to start there with this conversation tonight, because once we get into it, it's going to be about we're going to be finger pointing.
Right.
But I just want to look at like you in relationship. Are you truly able to say, hey, this is what I want?
At this point in life, I am.
Okay.
I definitely think early on I was not, and I think that's why it's a big deal. Why I say, well, I believe that you shouldn't get married so young, because eventually you're going to change. You find out who you are as a person. The person that you were early may not be the same person that you might be destined, or that you grow together. So you might be, at some point you guys might grow apart. So I feel
Yeah.
like you definitely should kind of wait a little later to get married
Okay.
for those particular reasons.
Because you have to evolve into who you,
Yeah, sure.
who you are.
Yes,
Okay.
yep.
I had to make myself be single because I was at the point where I always wanted to know what I had to give to another person, and I wasn't giving to myself. So I had to take the time to learn what I liked, what I didn't like, what I loved about myself, what I didn't like about myself. So when somebody else did come along, I just didn't hold them accountable for what was wrong. I held myself accountable too.
So even on the end of the L, love us learning ourselves. Sometimes we mask it with other people. So like if we don't like this about ourselves, we try to find people that accent this thing about us that we don't like,
Right.
which is actually they're wrong, but it's definitely a way to hide that flaw that you feel about yourself.
Right. So
Hmm.
if I'm able to know myself and hold myself accountable, okay, when these problems come up in a relationship, or if I'm getting to know somebody, I won't be so giving this time. I won't be
right,
so
right.
clingy this time.
Right,
So
right.
you know, like if I know myself, I tell people now, like I'm learning me, so I can be the biggest
There you go.
competition for you,
Right.
not anybody else.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I hear agreements there. Rose, I see you're stationary now. I'm ready for what you got. You are listening to Vital right here on B94.9 WATV. The third Sunday always brings us to dating, mating, and relating, something that we all can relate to in some form or fashion. How you date, how you mate, how you relate to other people, and then even deeper, who are you? What is it that you need? What are you doing? What are you becoming? And how can somebody else take that on if you can't do it yourself? So what is love? Love has been defined. Let's look at, before we go to break, we have 4 questions, 4 comment type topics that came up yesterday that we have to readdress, and then a couple that have been sent within the past hour. So old school love, that was on a card yesterday. Old school love. What happened to us? That's the
Ooh,
sub
Lord.
line. What happened to us?
That's
Ooh.
definitely that.
So when you think about old school love, what comes to mind for you all?
Grandma, granddad had been together since they was high school
12
sweethearts.
years old.
Yeah, went to prom together. Got the prom picture and the wedding picture right by each other.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
Love
Family.
notes with chick, yes, no, maybe so.
But the thick and thins, like been through the whole process of everything, the ups and
Mm.
downs, didn't give up on it.
Okay.
So with that, I would definitely
Rose, I'm coming to you next.
I would like to have like the 50-50 of that. Like I would like the commitment of that love, but I won't want it that long. You know what I mean? Or that early. I say that.
So okay, so the we're gonna stick through it. We're gonna stick it out. That part,
The
yes.
perseverance of it.
fact,
Oh, the
fact.
Perseverance.
of it. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Okay. The resilience of the
Today's
relationship.
word is
All-
resilient
all-
and
all- all that-
perseverance.
all that's good.
Okay. Rosa, come on in here. What you got? Like that old school love.
Yeah, you killing them.
Can you hear
We
me?
got you. Yeah.
So let me ask you, out of when you say old school love, how many people have actually sat down and spoken to our older generation and asked them about their relationship? Like ask them, hey, did you love granddaddy? Did you love grandma? Because we keep saying it's based on love. I can tell you
my grandmother's 106, and she'll tell you. She probably won't tell everybody, but she has told some people she did
Look, you gonna
not
do it
love my
for her.
grandfather. I'm gonna tell it. She did not love my grandfather. She was, actually dating someone else, and that someone else wasn't interested in moving forward the way she was. And my granddaddy was, working in the railroad and was like, "I'm gonna make you an honest woman."
He just don't wanna do it like
Just
that.
snatched her up, come on, girl.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
you're right,
Come on,
though. Yeah,
girl.
definitely.
So I think it is no different than the fantasy of online love or R&B love, when we
Okay.
talk about old school love, because you still don't know what drew those two people together. It probably, honestly, when you start talking to them, you'll find more times than not, it was nothing to do with emotions. It was some type of benefit, something tangible, something they got out the deal. So now we're held to a standard because where was Leroy and Rosalie gonna go back then? Because now they've been together 15 years. No,
Leroy
they not.
Rosalie.
You know they not gonna go nowhere. You
Yeah,
know
facts.
this. That they stuck
And
together.
like Rosa can get a job.
Yeah.
I have a
work.
real auntie named Rosalie, by the way.
That's my
Stay up
grandma's
there.
name.
It's like
That's my
something-
grandma's
something
name.
really
Chill out.
got- She's like,
But-
One
My
time,
grandma
Rosalie.
name.
One time.
she's in Inslee. She's in Inslee.
So Rosa represented for all the Rosas.
Yeah.
My Rosa and my George, my grandparents were the model grandparents to me. Like, when you think about Black TV shows and you think about whose house you go to for dinner, like who takes care of everybody, who looks out, it was the grandparents. Generally. Now, yeah, there were still single women, single men, there were still people in the village, but they were different. Just the way that they responded to life was different. So, Rosa, the point that you're making about, it may not have been based in love, but it's that old school way of functioning. We don't even have that. We don't
Right.
have that. You can work
No,
at the
we don't.
railroad, but I'm gonna also talk to old boy over here too that don't work nowhere because of whatever he has to offer. Like,
Right.
But,
you
but I'm
know,
saying Grandma Rosa
That's
would have
true.
did it too if she could though.
so she couldn't.
She just couldn't. Like she wasn't moving like that. Like
That's
if Grandma Rosa was moving like that, she definitely would have had a boyfriend.
But to touch
might have
back
had
what
a
she was
boyfriend.
saying
You
earlier,
had Rose.
The accessibility wasn't there, right? Because the
Mhm.
women literally were at home, and men,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
males, literally,
out.
I don't want anyone to be offended. Oh, who's a man? And men, the males literally were out, gone. That was a
Right.
culture, like you said, boo. It was a cultural thing. It
Yeah.
wasn't emotional. So, are you asking, are we not in touch with emotion, or are we lacking structure as a culture?
All of the above.
I mean, I was gonna say, what is
Yeah.
it to you all? What happened to us? So, Jackie, you say it's all of it.
Yeah, it's all of it because we don't have the role models like we used to have. Like, like you said, the old school love, those people that's been sticking it through thick and thin and things like that. Now we have, oh, okay, well, you cheated on me. Deuces, two fingers, I'm out.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, okay, but I ain't say nothing when you were crazy and I stuck by you. So, it's like we don't have those role models anymore. And then also, the village is not the village anymore. We don't have the respect for the elders that we used to have. So we don't have that anymore, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So in that, do we just get rid of all the facts of the people being terrible people just because they were role models in love? You know what I mean? Like your granddad might have been a terrible.
I'm about to
dude.
say, because see, old school
That's
love
where
got
I
two
was
sides to
going
it,
with
too.
that.
Like,
I can't hear
Yes.
him.
sticking through it mean like, yeah, stuff happened and nobody just didn't get divorced. That don't mean nobody cheat. It was been outside
Right.
kids.
Oh,
Old school
right.
love got two
Oh.
sides to
Right.
it. Commitment, that
Right.
mean this happened and you was there and we stayed committed to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was never like just how it is, like Marvin Gaye pictured it. No, they did wrong too. Even in the 70s and the 60s, how far back it was. It's just they just
They
stuck it
didn't
out
have
and fought
social
it.
media.
They didn't give up so
Mm.
quickly, like you see
Okay.
there.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Now-
You didn't have the
we getting in.
distractions.
No distractions.
But see, sometimes, so I do think social media is a huge distraction, because I don't think you owe anyone in the world the rights to your life or to your relationship. That's just my opinion.
Right.
I
Mhm.
do also think though the old way was flawed. That's how we got here. Because if
Right.
it was, so
Ah,
accurate, I think we wouldn't be so off path. Because when you
Mhm.
say, "Hey, the commitment of sticking together," that's through child molestation, that's through beatings, that's through
Right.
All the stuff pretty much.
sodomization, that's through
Mhm.
everything. And now you've gotten these children that grew from that era. No, I don't
yeah.
mess with George because George will touch you in the wrong place, and my mama know it.
Mhm.
So now you have these
Mhm.
fights that are happening, right? So where do you find the healthy realm in that? Because so now you have the people that's watched that are like, no, yeah, you dropped the tissue on the side of the toilet, get out. I'm tired of it. I'm
Mm,
not gonna be here 20
Right.
years unhappy.
well,
So
it's an
where do
evolution
we
to this
find that?
point. We've evolved to
Mhm.
this. So we
Yes,
we saw
Evolve.
we've
things and we
evolved.
Right.
learned how to,
Right.
okay, this
Hmm.
is what I'm not gonna do. This works. I'm gonna do this, but I also got to do this to protect myself.
So
Oh,
it's
Mhm.
And
very
there's a lot of
conflicting.
Right.
yeah. Say what
there's
you
a
got.
lot of people that state because they can't love correctly is because they've watched that quote unquote old school love where the person was mentally gone. Like they were there, everything seemed perfect on the surface, but
Mhm.
they saw how mentally the mother was clocked out. She didn't show affection. She didn't show love. She was just there,
Mhm.
to deal. Oh, I stuck through everything, but I wasn't happy, but I didn't speak up for myself. I think
Mm.
now with social media, more
Mhm.
people are speaking out like, no, I'm not happy. And this is not what you want. Do it the way you want to. Don't do it, how cliche old school love was
So,
supposed to
so,
be.
so my question with
Well,
that is that sacrifice for the betterment of the family? Like, can you not be selfless enough to like care about your family enough to where
to suffer.
and I don't really want to say
That
I
sounds
don't,
like it was
I
normal.
don't, I
Like,
don't, I don't want
like,
to say like I don't want
That's
to say suffer.
suffering.
but like in the
Yeah.
black
I
culture,
mean,
it's
but
common to not talk about stuff. Like,
Right. Like, I'll be
and that
quiet. Just
comes from
pray about
because
it.
we
You
don't
know.
say about the
Mhm.
molestation and we don't say nothing. We would not say that, and we just deal with it.
Yeah, but
But
you
look,
ain't
So
guys,
go
now
so.
it
without it
is that.
going dark, it,
So
it
like, yeah, you
happens in
suffering. You so
relationships.
good.
Right.
That's why
but we
people
Mhm.
get
in relationships aren't happy sexually. I can't talk about what's taboo. I
And
can't
you
tell
just
you what I
going through it.
really
You're not
like.
happy.
Yes,
Mhm. I just
yes.
Okay.
told you
So
that.
it's
Okay.
those uncomfortable
So yeah,
conversations that we haven't figured out how to have with one another yet.
Right.
Well, that's what we're doing right now. We're having it's not uncomfortable yet. It may get that way. And if it does, please just keep your radio on. Just turn it down a little bit. But share the stream, share the live if you're watching, comment, be a part of this conversation because this is where we all come from. We come from people who dated, mated, and related in some form or fashion. This is what we do. This is how the world keeps going. But we don't talk about it. So therefore we have a lot of issues. And that is why this is a vital topic because if we learn how to better relate to each other, I think the world would be a better place. And I'm not just saying that because it sounds cute, but that's real. Like if we really learn how to have conversations about how we feel, how we think, why we think what we think, I think we'll be better off. So we'll come back. We're going to talk more. There are more questions, more topics. I'm going to ask everyone to mute their phones during the commercial break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Vital on V94.9 WATV.
WATV and Pepsi presents the V94.9 WATV.
All right. So everybody who is listening and watching virtually, stay where you are. We do this thing called a stop set where we play commercials because that's how we pay bills. So don't go anywhere. Stay right here. And if you have comments or any thoughts about anything you've heard so far, go ahead and post it in your comments. I'm not sure which stream the comments are coming from. I'm not, but post them and then maybe one of us will catch them because we want to talk about what you need talked about. 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Six minutes. 6 minutes.
Right.
6 minutes. Dougie Fresh hair on. On.
Right.
Oh.
Not 6, y'all. We just short.
I couldn't help it.
I use my own.
Hey, thank you, boss. It is V94.9 WATV, and we are back. You're listening to the Abby Award-winning Vital Show on a third Sunday, which means that it is DMR, which stands for dating, mating, and relating. Okay, so that's where you are. That's what's happening. We have our two of the core crew members, Jermaine and Seth, and we also have some guest panelists today, Jackie, Rosa, and Tony, who are contributing to this conversation in a major way already. So what is love? We covered that. We talked about that a little bit. Let's look at some of the other questions that were submitted or some of the other topics that came up. We talked about the old school love and what happened to us. Did anybody want to go back on anything on that one? Like, we just don't have it. We don't have what they had, and looks like we're suffering because of it.
I wouldn't say everybody is suffering. I say some people are actually healing and making themselves better from it.
Okay. And I see some black love out here popping that kind of makes sense. Like, okay, this makes sense. I can believe that they are truly who they supposed to be. So, okay. Yeah, ready for the next one?
What you got?
Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and give you this one right here. Let's get this out the way. It's on the screen. If you're listening to the radio, let's just go here. Men are more than penis and problems in relationships. So men are more than that. Okay. The conversation came up yesterday. It wasn't worded around this particular topic, but that's kind of what it came to. It was more so worded around, or it came from the fact that men are pretty much basic. They don't need a lot, but they have a lot of options, and they ain't gonna say a lot. That's basically what it came to. Like, we out here doing our thing. It's a lot of y'all. and we're gonna be
Yeah.
quiet so that we can talk to all y'all.
Like, yeah, definitely. I do feel like it's like a lot of more women out there in the world than men. Like, so the ratio, we do have a lot of options. We could be here one day, somewhere else one day. She can be purple, blue. We can do it. We can move.
Wow.
Cause it's like, cause just how
Yes,
the
yes.
numbers is by itself.
Okay, so the numbers make this thing make sense. Does it?
Yeah,
I mean, numbers and plus it just ain't just.
we take advantage of it. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
fact.
point.
And it's not like a plethora of good dudes either. So I mean that's a win as well. If you're a solid guy, you definitely should, have more options than another guy.
Wow. So if you're a
Yeah.
solid guy, you will definitely have more options. Ladies in the virtual studio, I see you both leaning in. Go ahead.
I agree that men are more than penis and problems.
Mhm.
I think it is a true statement that I don't know about the count. I don't know that it's more solid or virtuous women. I don't know what y'all calling us nowadays, but I'm glad to be one of them. But I don't know what
That
I
number,
don't know that it's
number.
more of us than it is of men because it seems to be it does seem to be more women seem to be more known to be available and men that are wanting to be available seem to not do it openly. It's like a sneaky thing, like let me hit you on the vanishing chat or on Snapchat or something like that.
She said the vanishing
So
chick.
Because
it
the reality, because the reality of it,
That's funny.
I said a couple times like it's no single such thing as a single good man. So like if he's a good man, he won't be single. He's not out there with nothing.
Yeah.
So
That's why they say all the good ones taken.
Made.
But that's why they make the catchphrase, all the good ones are taken.
Wait a
Like,
minute. Wait a
And
minute.
yesterday we heard that was pretty much affection. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't get it.
It gets confusing. Jermaine,
I
help.
just
Come on.
think if a dude's out here, like she said out here, just like openly saying they're a good dude and all this stuff, it's like the youngsters say it's cap because like no good dude is out here just out here publicizing that he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Surely there's a woman out there that knows he's already a good dude and he messing with her. So
I mean, we mess with bad
because
dudes.
it's the actions. Like, it's
Right.
Right,
all
we
about
mess with
actions.
bad dudes.
I love the bad boys.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
love bad boys.
That
Y'all
is
really
Love
do.
something wrong.
but that's why I say the count can't be right because like all right, if you just count good girls, we're not even talking about the girl, from Sicko. We talking about the girl that's at the nursing station. If you
You're not
take
from around the
the
way.
good girls, you know what I'm saying? If you take the quote unquote good girls, it's
Yeah.
not the numbers, it doesn't seem right because I was one of them. I done had somebody that was in prison, right? And I met him while he was in prison. So
Mhm.
it's not the numbers make no sense to say, well, for the good guys, it's because we have so many
They can get
girl
all the.
options. That's not true. Because
Yeah.
why I'm trying to
Well,
understand like why is it not true? I don't understand the.
So let me say this, and then Rosa, you come on back in with it. The good guys have the options. That's what you all basically said. And good guys also are the ones that commit. So you're committed, and you know that you still have options, which further makes you not that good of a guy.
Yeah. First off,
Like-
let's put all this is stupid. I'm guy like some guys we have degrees, PhDs, and we still like not the smartest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we flawed. That's what I'm going for. We gonna make mistakes, even though we may know that's not be the concept of going and how it is. But honestly, and I'm a little bit of this I want to say about it is too. Nowadays, how females is, they want to be not say want to be in trouble, independent. It's okay. So the guy be like, you know what? Go ahead, and they're not stepping up to the plate as much as they used to.
Because we're independent.
And y'all want to be independent. Y'all want to be like, hey, I'm not with you because I with your money. I'm with you because I kill. You're like, well, shoot, girl, but go ahead then. And now he's not doing the same gentleman things no more. And he's not. He's what I'm saying he making you pay the bills now much than y'all splitting it now because he know. So I ain't gonna lie. We it's some guys out there that kind of take advantage of the situation. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, Rosa, we talked about this yesterday. Like we say, I verbally said, like, hey, I pay my own bills.
Right.
We just talked about this. I pay my own bills. I take care of myself. It's not because I just want to be out here doing it all by myself. It's not like, oh, I'm independent. That's what I want to be and forever. No, I want to be able to share responsibility with somebody. I want to be able to be nurtured and cared for and protected and provided for. I do. But I'm not. I'm
That
also
ain't like
not
a
broadcasting.
deal
it.
breaker.
Yeah, like
Right.
Right.
okay, Rosa, what did you say
Right.
yesterday about women needing men and
Well,
how this the whole thing plays out?
well, so my take on it is I'm a very independent woman. I bring my own. I'll build a table and a chair for you to sit at, sir. It's not
Mm.
but when it comes to what you must do to obtain me as a submissive woman, you
Mhm.
must be a provider. You must be a protector. I must be able to know that everything is going to be okay because you
Yeah.
got it. I don't think you're required to maintain my life because I do believe before I met you, I was required to have a standard of life that if I couldn't uphold, I should not make you uphold. So I'm not saying you are coming here to change my status of life and your finances make a difference.
Mhm.
They don't either way because I was paying this mortgage before you came here, and when you leave, I have every
Paying
intention
the
on still
mortgage
being
too.
able to pay it. So we either doing it
Right.
together or we aren't. You know,
Okay.
so
But she did.
it's
But see,
factual.
She said one of your first words was, "I need you to be a provider," though.
Provider.
Yes,
and I'm see,
because
but
you.
see right there, that's what. Oh, go ahead. No,
But
go ahead.
So I mean,
he-
that's confusing. It's confusing from what you said on the latter end of what you said
well,
to what you said on the beginning. Like that's
no,
kind of like
I'm
got
not
confusion.
saying. I'm saying I can do it for myself, but yes, you must be able to do it. So it's not a
Well, yeah.
necessity that you do it. I won't live or die. Yes, you must be able to do it. You
Right.
want to be. You said you the man of this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and you would like me to be the feminine part of this relationship. So I have no problem with holding them both because I carry my own. So in my own
Okay.
Like
world,
an in case of
sometimes I
emergency
must be
type of
soft.
scenario.
Sometimes I
I
must
can
be
hold
hard.
you down when you
Yes,
ain't got it.
Okay.
Right.
but
So
I
let
don't.
me make a point. We know that. So as long as you ain't got to break the glass, I'm chilling. And that's what the process with it. Like, okay, now he just hanging at the house and just laying in the bed and just playing
Cause
2K.
you know I got it.
Cause he's knowing the glass ain't gonna break no time soon. You don't need him right now, so he's not stepping up. I mean,
Oh.
I think it's
that's
of not what you say, it's how you say it. A lot
Mhm.
of women, like some of us can say I'm independent, and I can do everything myself, but I want somebody to help me. I want somebody to be that counterpart where I won't have to do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But and then at the same time, if you were to fall off, you know already I can handle it
I got
Right.
by
you.
myself,
Right.
and we'll still be a team together. But sometimes,
Right.
depending on the person, how they say it, you have these different people that's listening. Hey, I'm gonna try. I feel like she's the game, so
let me
I'm
see
gonna
what
see
she,
how I
yeah,
can
let me see what
take
she gonna do.
advantage
But
of
yeah,
this,
Mm-hmm.
how I'm gonna use her. I ain't gonna do
Mm.
nothing since she's so independent. But some men may respond as, "Hey,
and that's us
nah, you.
stupid.
This is
That's
what we
That
not.
doing."
is.
That's
But
the
That's
this is how
stupid
stupid.
it is.
Right.
part.
Right.
But
But
let
you
me go
notice
see.
a lot of
That's
these
what I mean.
Stupid.
independent women get men like that. They end up using
Oh
them in some type of
man.
way. To me, that's
Right.
Jackie, I heard you agreeing in a heavy way. What you got?
What's that song? INDPNDPNDEPP more than me. She got her own house. She got her own car.
Hey.
She worked hard, 2 jobs. She a bad bro. Okay, so we singing that song, but
Yeah.
it's like I don't need no man. I don't need this. And then, like you said, you got the dude at the house that's not doing anything. But you just said I'm independent and I can do it. And it's like
Yeah, you
you
told me.
said, giving mixed signals, and they're receiving mixed signals. Me personally, and Woo, I just shared that in dating, relating, and mating. Like, if
Mhm.
I get a dude that's solid on 95% of the relationships, yeah, he working on communication or something like that. Okay, baby, whatever you like. I will be her. Long as
Okay.
I know you holding me down in the spaces and the places and the time that I need you to hold me down. And I got you on the back end.
Okay.
Respect it.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
So yeah.
So
Yeah. Go ahead, Rosa.
okay, so I want to bring perspective to what I'm saying because it's not that it's a dual thought. It's a
Mhm.
timing in it. When you meet someone before you get to that stage of protection and providing, it's something about that person that's attracted you. You guys have built up to that level. Before
Right.
you guys got to that protection and providing stage, who was providing for her? Hopefully, she was providing for herself. So
She was
she
provided for
very
herself.
much is very independent, taking care of her own. That's correct. So in that sense, that's what I mean by I'll do it for myself. I buy my own brownie bag. So because now you're my provider and protector, I don't expect you to start doing something I haven't done for myself. So yes, because
Right.
I can do it, I do expect you to do it as my man. That's what I'm saying. So I am not above asking you until you and I get to the space where you are providing it just consciously, just doing it on your own. I'm not above telling you or asking you or letting you know, hey, this is the overhead. This is my expectation. So it doesn't get uncomfortable. I'll knock that conversation out early. As soon as we establish
Right.
that the providing piece, I give you what my expectations of that is. So we never, and it's in a dollar amount. It's tangible. Look, it's not going to be a misunderstanding because if I don't listen,
So
Right.
it's not
We
a
both
Listen.
misunderstanding.
we're saying providing is purely monetarily, right?
No.
No, it's not purely
Yeah,
monetary, but we
that's
were
what I'm
just
getting
talking
though.
about. No,
Well, I'm
it's not. I
saying
mean,
we
you're
when
gonna
we
take
talk
out the
we have
trash too.
Hold on,
You're gonna do a lot.
but when we talk to women about providing, most of the time it's dealing with money. Like it's 95% of the conversation is purely about
But
money.
those are the women who are centered around money. Those are the
Like who-
women
Yeah.
who
right,
don't
right, right.
understand. Hey, provision could be I need that male touch, that male voice, that male oomph that you bring to
Right.
the table.
I agree, but we never talk about that though. Like that's
So
not the conversation.
and that's why we have to have these conversations. So what is it what is it that's not being said, that's assumed or that's expected that we're not saying? And then I wonder, why aren't we saying it? I say what I feel. I say what I need.
Right.
And I make sure that I communicate it in a way that is comprehended. You know, like I want to
Yeah.
make sure that you hear what I'm saying. This is
Right.
what I need, or this is what I like, or this is where I want to go. And then if I see that you aren't responding or reacting or doing whatever you need to do to show me that you understood what I communicated, then that's where we start making the changes.
But I think that's one of the flaws in that particular saying providing, and that, like you said, we gotta communicate that. But I think
What are the
when
provisions?
men
Right.
hear providing, they think purely
It
monetarily.
does automatically go
So
financial.
so they don't think about any of the other stuff. So you say I gotta do. So you got a guy. You say you don't want a provider, and he goes to work all week. He's not doing other stuff you said, but you purely said you want a provider. So he thinking purely money when your provisions are multiple other things that he don't even think about because you always talk about bread. So I think we definitely gotta have a conversation to make
Yeah.
understanding
And
that.
that's where communication comes in because when I meet someone,
That's
I
right.
tell them straight
Right.
off, like, I got a grandfather that spoiled me, but at the same time, he taught me how to do things to be independent.
Right.
So where I didn't need a man necessarily, but when I got one, I knew what to expect from that man.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's
and it just
confusing
wasn't
though.
providing with money. If I need to change a tire, if
Right,
I needed to do some things around the house as far
This
as
is
plumbing,
heavy.
I
Open
can
this
do
jar.
that because
Right.
he taught me like you don't have to be a crutch because you don't have a man.
Right.
But if
Right.
you have that man, I need you to know what to expect because as from a man, I taught you all of this, and this is what a man is supposed to
But
give.
we
Right.
also go. It also goes back to the old school love again.
I'm about to say
as
that's
well.
that back and forth. I have to
Right.
love you to want to do this, to be that man. So at that point, that's an action thing. It's not saying the fact that like I got to pay to get your nails and feet done, but I want to see you get them did. So I'm gonna give you here, baby. Go. I got to want to do that.
Right.
I have to
But at the
enjoy
same
doing
time,
that. It has
I'm
to
not
make
going
me
to
happy.
ask you to pay for it.
I'm not
Of
gonna
course
ask
not. I'm
you.
gonna do it
Right.
myself.
But that's the
But
balance
at the
between
same
it.
time, I ain't gonna deny you to say, hey, thank you.
Here goes some money, boo.
Appreciate that.
Right.
But that's the
right.
balance
Yeah.
between
And
being
I
a
may
provider
do,
and being a
but
lover.
I do it for you too. Hey, go
Right.
I can get pedicure. I do it. Go ahead.
You
Whatever you
need to
like
get
to
that
do.
done too.
Right.
Jermaine, I want to come back to you. What were you saying?
So I'm saying just like far as us referring back to our grandparents or somebody taught us how to love, but we got to go back to where they originated from. Like they were doing that because they had to. It wasn't like all men was taking care of the house because they were just great men. They were taking care because they don't want to have income. So it ain't like granddad was just a great man. Like he's a head of the household. He's the head of the household because he had to be. Like grandma wasn't working, so it's not about him setting the standard of being a provider. Hell, that's all he could do is be a provider.
But he still
Right.
had options, right? He still could have been
Right.
a single man or just been somewhere else.
His wife
Nah,
had a job and had her own money. You keep your money. You do what you want to with your money. I'm doing this, and if you want to, I'll accept it. And she would tell him, "Don't do me like that.
But
I
you,
want to put in."
it was an old school love, but
Right.
you were able to see that in action. So
Right.
But we can't
Yeah.
give 55% of old school love and want 45% of the new school love. Like let's be partial to like a 40% of what we want.
I mean, a good mixture. I think we gotta be well
Oh,
It's
aware
not
of
well,
where
right.
we
That's
are.
where the balance
we
come
need
in.
Not
we
balance.
need to get the commitment to where you gotta stick to the BS student. Like don't be. I want my old school granddaddy love. I want all providing, but you
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
don't
stick to
have
the
to
BS
have
though.
that, but then if I find that person that love language comes in, they know. Like it's not just about old school vibes. I'm not asking for old school vibes, but these are certain things took out to me that say this is what I want. But if I want to put a little twist on it, you may be that person that can put that
It's
that
just
I
a
want
natural
in it.
Let's
occurrence,
think
right?
on it. Right.
All right, so Rose, I'm gonna come to you in a second because I saw you wanting to speak. When we talk about the old school love, and that's why we started there and asking the question, what happened to us? Since we can say what we saw, like we can say what it looked like. I mentioned that we had these examples of TV shows. I don't even know what shows they have like what we had. We had Family Matters, we
Cosby Show.
had Cosby
The
Show.
Cosby Show.
Who else? What else? What was it? Eddie Winslow.
That was
That's
family
family
That
matters,
was
but
Family
it's
Matters.
Family
a
Matters.
Full
Family
House. I mean,
Matters.
we had a lot of different shows that showed us what good family looks like with regular issues. These people still had issues, still had topics of concern, but they were still family. And then outside of TV, some of us actually lived in those situations. Some
Yeah.
of us actually saw people in our churches that um showed us what that looked like. People that our teachers, we saw their like we saw what it looked like, and we saw those people happy and thriving. But where did we lose that part of the old school connection?
When we started trying to blend it, like when we started wanting 55% of this.
But how we not gonna blend it? And we are in 2020, 2021. We're a different generation of
Right.
people.
But we're saying how do we lose it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how we're losing it because we're trying to blend old school with new school. Like,
Okay.
and that's not the reality of either. We can't blend those situations
Because
it's different demographics.
at the same
Okay.
time, I'd seen the things that my grandfather did that was good. He wasn't the perfect man in the past as well with relationships.
Okay.
So at the same time, I look at okay, I don't want that part. So now I'm able to speak up and say, okay, this is not what I want. Even though that old school not blended it, but hey, certain things I do want, but hey, certain things I'm not going to allow because I've seen both sides of it.
All right,
Yeah.
Rosa. Before we go to break, what you got?
I think Jermaine really had a great point, and it's crazy because we'll keep talking ourselves into different points around the same topic. But I do think I agree with Jermaine from early on when he said marriage isn't such a great thing at an early age because people evolve, no different than we're watching the evolution of relationships right now, right? That's where we are. I do think that as an adult woman who is still learning what she likes and going into my 40s, I think it reflects that we have to get into a space of being able to express what we like, what we're here for, what we're willing to provide, and it goes back to that action of love when it is a compromise to learn what it is that you interpret love is. What is it love to you? Because I can't love you from my perspective because I need you to feel love. You might be a hugger. I might need to lay under you, and I don't like to do that, but I want to love you. So it's a compromising thing, and I think it's true. You can't have the old school. Oh, you went to work all day and bring me the check, and I cooked and cleaned all day and folded all the clothes because that's not our reality anymore, right? So I agree in that aspect, but I think we have to get into where you saying. I think we all are saying what's right. We just have to get on a common ground with it, where it's a more common conversation, where we're talking
Okay.
about it, where we're expressing where we are, what it looks like, what it feels like to be loved, because it is a different dynamic. It's no need for him to carry the household on his own, but it's
Right.
what I love
It's
it.
no
So don't
need
get me
unless you decide
misconstrued.
that that's what you want to do for your relationship. Like if in your relationship you decide that, hey, I want you to stay home and I'm going to work,
Yeah,
and
fact.
Yeah.
like
I agree.
it's
Yeah.
not, they're not cookie cutter situations. You and your partner have these conversations with
That's right.
between the two or three, whoever y'all are, you have these conversations, and then you make your relationship fit that. We got to take a break, but when we come back, this is one of the questions that we just got in the inbox that says, "What's with all the games people are playing? Why can people not just be honest about their intentions?" That's all I have. So all I have is to be able to come back and talk about that, and we're gonna do it after these. Right here on V94.9 WATV, you're listening to and watching Vital. All right, everybody. So we are taking a radio break. We come back. We are going to answer that question. We also have more topics that you all
We really want 70-30 for real.
The old school and the new school stuff.
70-30 old school. New school.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But men want it too. What's crazy is men want it too so bad. Men want women to be in that position where I know where my girl is, what's going on with her.
But I mean, that's what
It
breaks
ain't
down
just
to,
a woman
I
thing.
think like the most relationships that we can't figure out is that they got that understanding, like it clicked. Like a lady told me last night, she said, "Don't never let a woman tell you what to do with your man, because that woman is not you. So whatever worked for somebody else is like that don't. That's your boo, but it worked for them.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah, it's a hot topic. I'm telling you, it's just the stuff that we experience on a daily basis that most times people, I would say, are uncomfortable having publicly because it might expose me, it might put me out, it might mess me up, when I get into the right situation. I mean, look, you got to be comfortable with who you are and how you feel about what you feel, how you feel about. Like,
yeah, because I'm not gonna go to a situation where I'm never gonna go to a situation where I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna be 100%. I'm not gonna pay all the bills. My income is enough for me to pay all the bills. Why? So that's my understanding. Like, just like you want to provide, providing might be 70-30 financially. Like providing might be 60-40. Like it's just how it is financially, but it don't mean.
But then, like I said, them conversations because you might have debt. I don't know about. I can have A1 credit.
That's right. That's why you got to have that conversation. You got to be willing to have it. You got to. People don't ask people that, but I'll ask you your credit score. Nobody is talking to people like that, but it's a real conversation that you should be having. But we want to talk about what you did on social media all day, and when you get it to moving in my house, your FICO score 420. I don't know what to do. No.
Kick you out.
Yeah.
now, hold on a second. We're about to come back a little bit early, so just hang tight, and we'll be right back. Just hold your thoughts.
I need a box. My phone. Store my life. I got a cord. I just need a box. Store my life.
You need this.
Yeah.
What's the price a lot?
Android.
UNITY.
Appreciate your kind, sir.
What's up, Blake? Inslee, what up? Corey Savage, V949 WATV. Vital is on, and we're on your radio. We're in your app. We're everywhere we need to be. It's the third Sunday, so that means that it's DMR first hour, hot hour. Just the basics of love, what it is, what it means to us, that type thing. You can be a part of the conversation as well by submitting your comments to either of our inboxes. You can even call in 994-8949. So before we left, we discussed a few things. Old school love, what happened to it? And I think one note that we'll take from tonight's show is that you can't blend the two. I'm a little torn on that because we are who we are, where we are. We're in 2021. We're talking about couples that may have started in 1930 and 40 and 50 when things were really different. So those core principles of trust, understanding, communication, loyalty. What does Corinthians say? Love is. It's not boastful. It's not proud. It doesn't keep record. We do all of that. I ain't gonna lie. We keep tallies. We keep score, baby. Look, I remember when you said that. I know when you did that, and I'm going to get you back. What else do we do that love is not defined as? Love does not. There's a few other things that it does and that it doesn't do, but then you blend it. So here we are with our working women, with our direct access to everybody all over the world, anywhere, anytime through social media. Here we are with us having blended households, other people's husbands and wives, and now somebody else's husbands and wives. These children used to be your children, now they might. We got a lot going on,
Facts.
so it is blended.
Yeah.
Does it make sense that so that 50 old school, that 50 new school it still don't make sense to you?
I feel like when it comes to old school love, you use it as like a guideline. You say you keep the basics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the
the
stuff you need from it,
foundation.
and you just critique it to your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because like some folks in poly, somebody just kind of got dating. Some folks out here you working the date apps, and you just don't be crazy, don't cheat, and don't be abusive. You know what I'm saying? Just take the basics from it. Everything else gonna make it complicated.
And Woo,
Okay.
I wanted to add in on that, on my perspective of it, because my parents, they got married at a interesting age. My mom and my dad are 41 years apart. So my mom had 41 years apart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was a whole situation right there, because my mom had a child already and my dad had older children. So my dad was like, like watching my mom, looking at her saying that, hey, I'm going to marry you. My mom like ran for him for like 2 or 3 years. And eventually she was like, okay, cool, let's date. So they dated for like 5 years. And 3 years later, they had me. So I'm growing up in a household with a man that's way older than my mom. So my dad was the stay-at-home dad. So he cooked, he cleaned, he took care of my mother's car. He did everything, quote unquote, the wife would do. My mom went out and worked because she wanted to work. My dad was retired military. So it's not like he didn't have the money that, we were straight as a family, but my mother wanted to work. So I grew up in that dimension of that was my Claire and Heath Huxtable. So
yeah,
that was
like those dynamics. Those are some deep dynamics.
yeah, I mean, that was my definition of love. That's what love looked like to me. My dad took care of the household. My mom went and worked because she wanted to work.
So, you know, me having a man that, okay, yeah, you can cook, clean, and do whatever. You still can go out here and do what you got to do and make money or whatever you want to do. But, you know, have that flexibility to where, hey, if I want to go out and work, I can go out and work. You still can take care of the house and still take care of the children. So, you know, I'm like that.
All right. Well, we got a comment from one of our crew members about your mom. Your mom just wanted her own. She's one of the sweetest, genuine ladies I've ever known. I love you, Miss Paula.
Thank you. She's pretty cool.
Oh, gotta love the love.
Yeah. So
She's pretty dope.
those are. I mean, I'm just still on that 41 year. Like,
What guess the ages? I'm kind of interested in what. The
yeah.
ages are.
Like, what were the ages when they met and married?
Y'all have to excuse me on my math. I know when I was born, my dad was 67 and my mom was 27.
Wow.
What that top flight?
Well, my parents was like that. My dad was 55 when he had me. My mom was 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
Top
Right.
flight.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, they bet in. Like my daddy was pretty much the age of her daddy.
And that's what
Like,
that's
yeah.
kind of what I
Right.
was listening for. Like,
Right.
oh, so we all your children in here, or is it a good balance? Like, is it a good balance of how those households work with a very mature, seasoned partner and then a partner that's kind of growing and coming up? Like 25, 23, 21. I'm young, I'm growing.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess that was kind of typical then, though.
It was because, I mean, his older children were like, and his family members were looking at my mom like, well, she just wants you for your money. And my dad was like, no, I like her. I want her.
mm,
You know, I want to build a life with her. So,
wow.
And mine was in reverse. Like my family looked at my daddy like, you trying to take our baby. That was the elephant in the room. But once he showed that he actually cared and loved for it, it became cool. But in the beginning, I'm pretty positive. My granddad was like, I don't trust this man. My
Like,
mom
this
was,
my baby.
yeah.
Here.
I have
And
a
look, I
question.
can also add, who was it? Rosa? Hold on one second. I can also add
Mhm.
to that. My parents do have a age gap. It's not 41 years or 25 years. It's like 10 or 11, something like that. And that, you know, looking at me now, being in my late 20s, and you know, the guys that would be checking for me, they probably like, what? The guys that would be checking for me probably would be like 45, 50. And I'm just like, so is that, what is that?
So I
They
think
do
when
it.
guys do that, they kind of want their women that's been untainted, quote unquote. Like they still want to spring chickens, so they
They
kind of.
don't want
I don't know about the
Yeah.
untainted part.
I'm not saying sexual. I'm just
They
saying
don't
like
want
take
us-
so
take
you want
over the
a
market.
lady in the street and a
Okay.
freak in the bed still kind of
No,
situation?
you just want somebody that ain't been around like that for real.
Okay.
For real. I was like,
Well,
get
they
out
don't
the
want a
market
young
early.
girl then, because that's what it is.
Right. I mean, that's how it sucks now.
I don't mean untainted, but I do feel like younger women love older guys. Older guys like older men.
Yeah.
That's just kind of traditional cycle that's when it comes to, because females feel like for some reason if you're older we're smarter. We're not smart. But
Yeah,
and,
no.
and then like and guys we love
It's
younger women. You know what I'm saying? So and that's always been like a thing. So you always get the old dude pulling for the young girl.
Until they want a cougar.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
My dad just said it's 8 years. It seems like it goes down every time. Like they keep trying to close the gap. But okay, 8 years between the two. Rosa, what you got? I'm just saying, he's 8 years. Like,
Did your daddy just check
Okay,
you?
so
Like 8 years, 3 months, 2 weeks.
like, okay, my
did.
bad.
Your daddy was like, no.
it's okay. I'm
You're right, don't add all the
I got a
ages.
chart.
He don't want to be
But,
scared. He like,
so Will, you said this like 3 times during the show, and the first 2 times I was like, okay, I ain't gonna say that. The third time I've been trying to ask this since the beginning of the
Yeah,
set.
go ahead.
So you
Sorry.
said First Corinthians. You
What
said
happened?
First
Did you just leave?
Corinthians.
Okay.
I did. You said First Corinthians tells you the definition of love. Well, if I've never read the Bible or I'm not a Christian,
Mhm.
am I given a
Gonna be
pass
ignorant.
on not being able to, or is that your true belief that only in that religion under those terms that I would
And
know
like, do that
love?
rule not apply to me?
Like, so since I don't believe in Jesus, do I have to?
Well, hey, we can switch this around, right?
I don't believe.
I don't believe in Jesus.
Listen,
Wait, hold on now.
I'm trying to get the
Like,
verbiage right because I don't want, no impact to my personal life or business. This is a safe place.
Girl, you better say that
I just was the
disclaimer.
one that was
You better
gonna
say
ask
it.
Okay,
know,
and it's nothing
I
wrong
was
with
just
that,
gonna be the one that's gonna ask it.
as you should. So
So
when you think
is
about
it
standard,
religion based?
So love, I think that how we defined it when we opened the show, each person defined love the way that they know it or the way that they think it is. Some people may say it's just a 4-letter word. Some people may say that, hey, it's just an emotion, it's a feeling. Somebody may say, oh, it's an action. But then there's this core standard, to your point, Rosa, for people who believe in that. And I think honestly, even if I didn't believe in the Bible and I saw that,
Gotta respect.
I would say, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but if you've never seen it, like if nobody's ever shown it to you, you've never seen it, I still feel like once they introduced you to what love is according to this text right here, that's about right. I just
agree.
that's what I think.
I agree with that.
I don't believe in
Not-
anything.
not on
Well,
the-
you're gonna believe this.
not even
this-
on religious
this right
stuff,
here.
yeah.
But
Right.
like,
And I
no,
want
let me
to
ask you though. Go ahead.
interject something. And I think I may have the verbiage wrong, but I want to say it's the imago theory, but it's the theory of, you know, what you were introduced as love growing up. So distant, you know, okay, so mine is distant yet provider. So if you're showing that, hey, I can't spend time with you, but here goes some money, or, you know, here go whatever, then to me, like, okay, that's what love is. So I think that's where we're getting these mixed signals where, okay, so this is what I was raised up in my household, yelling, screaming, cursing, ranting, raving. And then when you get with somebody that's quiet, you don't know how to act because they're not
Right, and I've
ranting,
seen
screaming,
that.
raving at you. So it's like,
True.
okay, they might not love me because they're not yelling at me. Or, you know, that classic, well, they not beating me, they must not love me. So
Wow. Okay.
And that's where my question is gonna come from. If you ain't been shown a proper way to love, how can you really even love somebody? And what I mean by proper way is just like not in them, because some people have been in bad scenarios and thinking it was love. Like he hits me because he loves me, or he don't be around, he get money, and that's not. Those are not okay as a way of loving.
Yeah.
But if you ain't been seen or shown no other way, that's what you would do. It's like walking around with your shoes on the wrong feet.
But
if
it's
you've
just-
been doing it all your life,
I
and
don't
somebody
know,
try
though.
to tell you, you gonna argue them down.
I don't know, because
Right,
I feel
you
like we
argue
all
down.
have this innate. We have this part of us that's just us. This part of us that is
Human
called
nature.
like it's just a part of us that's innate. Where
Right.
you know I haven't seen this, but I know that it didn't feel good to me, so I'm not going to do it. Like how you hear people say, "Well, yeah, my daddy wasn't in my life, and I'm going to make sure that I'm always in my kids' life. I'm going to be a good dad." Okay, so what model do you use,
Right.
sir? I use common sense.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's
fact,
where like love is just universal. And when you find another person that realizes that, like, okay, this is universal. Like she said, I don't like to be touched and, you know, be affectionate, but I want you to provide for me, and that's fine if you don't. But that's universal to them, so they can agree on that, and that's their love, not somebody else looking in can say that don't look right. You shouldn't be like this, but to them, it's love.
It's love to us. Now, moving off of that, because love is as love does. We kind of got that part figured out, and
That's what Forrest Gump was saying.
that's hey.
that's what Forrest Gump say.
And he stuck with it. Like he loved Jenny,
Jenny!
regardless of everything. Like,
Jenny, baby, HIV and all, Jenny.
he
Jenny.
loved her.
For the
Yeah,
Right?
streets.
So let's talk about conditions. Let's look at these conditions. Even the question that was sent in is about conditions. Like if I make the decision to be with you, we decide that we're together, we're going to be together. If it's, you know, let's go there first. We did a topic a long time ago, probably 8-9 years ago.
I know where you're going.
Where it was called defining your dealings. Jackie, we did that. It was called defining your dealings. We did it as a live show at the Foreign Exchange. God rest the Foreign Exchange's soul. That was a dope spot. We used to have that thing rocking.
Yeah, 20.
Yes.
Yeah. We used to be up there talking, you
Good
know,
conversation.
hooking people up, stuff like that. But defining your dealings. Why do we have such a hard time doing that? We don't need no title. We don't need no this. We don't need no that until you do, or until you don't have it and something comes up. Why do we have a hard time defining our dealings? Let's do that, and then I think that'll move us more into that question that we got. I need to, you know how women end up saying, "What are we doing?
Well,
What is this?"
Well, honestly, when you in the gray area zone, when you first meet people and dating and y'all getting to know each other, see, you can get away with stuff. You can be like, hey, y'all can kick it and make out and go out, and then be like, hey, you ain't my girl.
Right.
And once you put a title on it, that
Uh-huh.
locks the door. At that
Yeah.
point, you have rules you can go by. You have to go by those rules because you just said we are in a couple, or we are in a relationship now. So as long as you in the gray area, you can wing it. You can kind of
Yeah.
like maneuver, finesse, and everybody want to finesse now. I don't know why everybody trying to outdo each other.
Because we
Nobody
are
wants to be
scared.
hurt. Nobody wants
Yeah,
to
so
be
it's
hurt.
like, and then it's like I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me. Now I ain't
Yeah.
even gonna hurt you. I'm trying to give you some wings. Like, come on, man.
Trade some wings. Wait, what?
Yeah, bring us something to eat, lunch, stuff like that. I was trying to bring. Like,
I don't believe this.
Yes, female. I don't know. You think you poison them? I don't know. I'm telling you, it
I'm
be
just
like
saying.
that. Everything's a game.
We talked about you should have been there yesterday, like the game. Like, so we're all playing. Let's play. And so yesterday, and I want to get back to defining these dealings, but yesterday it came up that if we're dating, we're all playing. If we're not together and we're dating, or we're single people and we're dating, that's called playing. We're all playing out here. Go ahead, Rosa.
Well, I believe in that. I believe in that. I think it is. It goes back to
Single
culturally.
until
We don't teach our children to date. We don't teach that. If you go back to what we say old school love is, at the very beginning of the conversation, everyone was like, oh, they've been together since they were 15, 16, because
Mhm.
that's what our villages foster. That's what they love to see. Oh my, they love to see that we were just
early love.
at an early age. Yes. Hey, we know who they gonna marry. That's what was driven into our culture. So to
Okay.
Jermaine's point, that's why early marriages happen, and that's why they're not safe. We don't know what it is today. Dating and having sex is not synonymous. But if I would like to have sex with you while I'm dating, I can. And I'm not just here just to have sex with you if I'm dating other people. It's a safe place. Dating, if I define our relationship as dating, I'm dating you this morning, you took me to the matinee, and tonight he might be taking me to dinner. It doesn't mean I'm sleeping with either one of you, but I can date who I like to date.
I'm
And that's the
dating.
only way I'm gonna get to know what I like. I'm dating.
Thank you for giving us that breakdown on dating. Then okay, so as you're dating and aka playing, because that's what that's what we called it
Courting.
yesterday,
That's it.
right?
Courting.
You're making
Courting.
you're trying to figure out the best fit for your situation or the person that you want to go further with. Once you start to do that, defining the dealing. So we're defining how we date, or we're defining how we deal. You know what? I don't want to be in a situation where, since we're dating, I may go out and see you out with somebody else. That's not going to be comfortable for me. And making that transition to say, well, that's not what I'm ready for. So then we make a decision there that either, hey, we're not going to date anymore, or we're going to continue to date how we date. And I'm like, why don't we do that?
Because we want to monopolize a person.
Right.
Like I said,
And we
people
don't know
scared
how
to
to
get
we don't
drunk.
know how to say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm talking to Bill, I'm talking to Maria, and I'm talking to Vincent all at the same time, because like you said, or someone said, you feel like I'm sleeping with them. No, I'm not. I'm optioning to be with someone else. And then when you compartmentalize it, okay, I am seeing this one person. I am exclusive to this
Okay.
one person. Then that stamps the deal. Okay, I'm with this one person. I ain't seeing nobody else. But we don't want to
That-
have that conversation.
And so that's where we start having to have that
And
conversation. Like, how do we expect to grow with anybody if we never have that conversation? And then you end up breaking up with people that you were never with. We weren't even in a relationship,
Yeah.
but we broke up, and now we mad, and we ain't texting today, and we crying, and we don't even go together.
Some of that
Right.
be egos too. I ain't gonna lie. You tell because even if I can speak as a guy. I ain't gonna lie. It's been scenarios, and I'm grown now, but it's been I was young on that, and a female told me that, and it hurt my little feelings. You know what I'm saying? I knew we wasn't dating, but I'm like, I thought we was something. Like I thought we were working towards her. So like, you don't want to hurt people's feelings, and at the same time, but you still want to be real. It's just so blurred.
And like
Okay.
the topic came up yesterday, and someone stated like, okay, just because I take you over my mama house to get a sandwich, that don't mean I'm in love with you and I want to be with you. It just I feel comfortable taking anybody over my mama house.
I'm about to say that's a good point. A lot of
Right.
people
Right.
feel like, oh, I make you see my mama. He must really like me.
Yeah.
Nah, she stayed
No.
on the street. Right?
She told me she was cooking and I want her food.
Right.
And
You were just
so
rapping
happy
with
to
me
be
And
and
you
in
was
the
in the
house.
car with me
Yeah.
coincidentally.
Right.
But that's a big
So-
thing. They say
my
all the
goodness.
time.
Right.
Oh my
He
goodness.
took me to see his mama.
Now
Rosa,
it's
what you
serious when
got?
you see my grandmama, because my grandma gonna be like,
I don't like him.
baby, that ain't the one.
You
And she gonna
be-
say it in your face.
that ain't him, so.
Mm.
That ain't
Rosa,
the
what
one,
you
baby.
got, man?
What you doing with them? So grandmama is that defining point where, okay, it was
Okay.
nice knowing you.
So take me to meet your grandma. Then we
But
know it's
Woo,
real. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Rosa.
let me know it's real.
Go ahead.
but Woo, you said it best the first time when you said, "Hey, we're defining dating, right? We're moving past just dating. Now you're asking for communication." So I think it's fair. I think you're still on fair playing grounds if someone wants to tell you that, "Hey, that's not where I'm ready to go," and you have to make that decision. That's what happens. That suffering in silence kicks in because I will ride with you just not to be alone because I don't know what it is to be alone and
Right.
healthy. So let me be unhealthy and
Mm.
miserable with you, you know. So it's the conversation. Like he said, "Oh, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings." Well, somebody's feelings gonna be hurt. We're adults. Your feelings gonna be hurt unless we're on the same page. So either
Wow.
you're gonna be miserable and walking around every day, or you're gonna hurt someone's feelings so that you don't have to be miserable. It's just it's an
So
adult
somebody's feelings
conversation
is
that we
gonna
have
get
to get
hurt.
accustomed to having.
Wow. So at
Yeah,
what point do you have that
it is.
conversation
It's
then?
reality. That's when you feel
Like,
like you want to define what dating is, when I have to explain to you why I'm out with Ralph this evening because we was at the movies, we probably need to go home and have a
we need to have
conversation
a
about what
conversation.
we trying to do because I'm dating.
Are
And
you
you
in the
don't want me
relationship
to.
by yourself?
Right. And that happens. Like we'll be let's talk about that. And then we're gonna get to this question. How women, and this is generally speaking based on research and observation, women will get into the situation and on like get connected to this one person. We get connected to the one person,
Yeah.
and then we find out that this person is equally dating another person, and then another person. But I got all my time and every effort into you, and now I'm upset. Oh boy. So let's define our dealings. And at what point? Why are we waiting to do this? Because automatically women feel as if once I have given more to this person, you should know what I'm doing. You should know what it is.
Right.
Right?
I guess that's
Nope,
like our
we
way
stupid.
of
I'm gonna
Before
keep
we get
sticking to that.
started, Woo,
No, man, we was
I
not
was
gonna
about to
catch
say,
on.
Woo, before we get started, when you
Go
say
ahead,
give
Rosa, the
more,
intent.
are you just referring
Mhm.
are you referring to sex when you say give more? Is that
No,
what
just
you're saying
overall.
as a woman?
Overall.
Okay.
No,
What
more
what
time,
does
more
give more
effort,
look
more
like in dating then?
energy. Yeah, like more of everything. It's more of you. So there may be one person that may text you good morning. You may just say good morning to them. It ain't nothing more than that. We just speak. Then
Mhm.
there may be a person that says, well, I want to take you somewhere. I want to actually do something with you. And then you kind of entertain them a little bit, but there's still this person that gets they get it all. They get everything, but you all still are not, it has not been
Mm.
defined.
right.
And we do that as women. I don't know if men do that or not.
I guess that's like our way of peeing on them and making our mark.
You
Like
do.
if I come
give you
over there and I
more.
cook for you and I wash your clothes, I do this, you
I'm
my
like, yeah.
man. That's it. Like we
Mhm.
we
We go
together.
together.
We together.
We
So
together.
and we best ourselves up in that way. Like no, if you cook if somebody cook for me, hey, thank you. That don't mean I want to be with you in that type of
But
way.
It's if you keep coming
I
back
didn't
and
never
you
say I
you
wanted to
keep
marry
coming
you
back.
for these
in
meals, that's
3
when it become a
months.
problem. She
No,
can't
you
give
be
me
gotta
certain
here. But you
like
keep coming back. Like, what are you doing?
I like the
you're
way
right.
you
I
fry
remember
your
one,
chicken.
Okay.
but
Go
one
ahead,
good
Tony.
thing is you're right. A lot of people feel like once y'all have sex, we officially a couple. We a full-fledged girlfriend, boyfriend, and sometimes y'all didn't have that understanding before, but y'all laid up, and then now it's just automatically. It wasn't nothing made clear before that. So you
But
see,
that's
you
why they
have
say sex
scenarios.
is for married people because you all get so confused and just involved off of sex. That's why they save it for people who are married. you, Rosa.
Hey, but
That
this
is
game is
Lord
good,
have
too.
mercy.
I mean, so
Ooh,
listen, it
child,
don't
now I
matter.
got
We
to
can
be
have
stuck
real
with it
talk.
forever, and it's
Hey,
bad.
Forever,
hey.
ever.
They say you gotta wait
Forever,
to get
ever.
married. That's what they say, right?
I'm
And
just
I
saying,
don't
but
know
if it's
that
bad, how do I know?
Yeah,
Lord,
I
at
Mm.
ain't.
least
You get
cause them
your
boys
toy.
bad sex.
That's
Right.
when you
You
get
wouldn't
your
know.
toy.
Let me make a
Not supposed to know.
disclaimer. Let me make a disclaimer for everyone listening because we do cater to such a variety of listeners, all ages. But I just want us to be 100 because typically grown people listen to this station. So if you're grown, there has been a point in your life where you have DMR'd, you've dated, mated, and related, and you had difficulty, and sex was a part of it sometimes. Communication was a part of it sometimes. Your lack of understanding the person that you were at that moment, you didn't know. So that's why this conversation is vital. That's why we're having it, and that's why we can have it on radio. It's an appropriate conversation for radio. You have to be open minded though and realistic about where we are in life. Carry on.
So
Beautiful disclaimer. Beautiful.
Carry on.
ta.
What was we saying?
But it works the other way around,
I'm
too.
looking at this comment. Black, I'm gonna take
No.
your phone.
But she was saying that, like Rosa. I was saying that Rosa was saying like if it's like that, like, but you should go off of what Wu said, like you're not supposed to know anyway. So
You're not
what's
supposed
good
to.
or
Right,
bad
because
anyway.
Wu said we supposed right. She said it's
Yeah,
for
thank you,
married
bro.
folks, right? And I
Exactly. So
said, bless it. Baby, I got to test drive. I ain't going on nobody lot. And just
Right.
give me that Cadillac. I like the way that one sit up.
You might get a
Baby, let
lemon.
me
You
get
might get a
behind the
lemon.
wheel of this
Right.
thing. Baby,
Oh,
you know what
Lord.
I'm saying? I
That
got to
thing don't
see what the
go.
traction like in the rain.
That's real. That's real talk.
Baby, let
So
me
let's
get
go
one
to this.
from Donahue. 72 hours.
Let's go to this question that was submitted. What's with all the games that people are playing? Why can't people be honest about their intentions?
like the brother said, the gray area is where the fun's
You
at.
can finesse them, man.
So look, and I'm gonna go ahead and add a little weight to this. Um, I got it in two different, like worded two different ways. One from somebody that says that they're single, one from somebody says that they're married. And when you marry someone, you are marrying. I guess I want to ask what first? Like, what are you marrying for?
I was taught just how I was raised.
Oh, you gonna go off what you were taught?
Yeah, just off of me. I can only speak for myself as a person.
Okay, okay.
So, like, as for me as a person, I was raised like you look for love, you look for stability, you look for a companion, somebody that's there, like a friend and a lover and a husband or a wife, and you know what I'm saying, and a provider or
Okay.
or a mother. You know what I'm saying? You look for those things, like stuff, like a grounding, a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
That sounds good. That made me want to go get married. Okay. Okay. So then, like you looking off to the somewhere else. What, why, what do you look? What do you marry for? Like, what is that about? I choose you. Why?
I want to be able to still be myself, but if I'm not, then you can pick up where I slack off at. Like
Okay.
that's what I look for. And
Like,
I'm still
okay.
learning. That's why I don't feel like I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying, jump in and say I want this relationship. I want to
I've
be
been
with-"
married.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that.
Who's that,
And
Rosa?
so that's why I know I gotta learn more about myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mess it up.
I'm
Okay.
out here. Yep,
Okay.
I'm all
Mess
out
it
here.
up.
It ain't gonna work.
So then being honest like that is good. So if
Yeah.
somebody,
Oh,
you
child.
date and somebody really gets into you and then you say, look, I'm not there right now. Like,
Yeah.
be honest. And you may have to catch them the second time around or the third or fourth time around. Like, look, this just may not be the season for us because I'm not mature enough to go ahead and
Right.
get
And
myself
then
together.
Right.
I know it sounds cliche, but it's not you, it's me. But
And
that's
really
just
mean
that's
that.
just what it is.
Because if you stay,
Mhm.
it ain't gonna work, right? And I
Right.
want to be
I'm
this
trying
guy,
to warn you, like,
but I'm a hot boy. I'm a,
but I still want to enjoy your time, you know.
If you
But
did-
see, that's the
Yeah,
problem.
but
Rosa, we coming to you, but that's the problem. Like you want to do what you want to do, but you want me to stay
but I'm
around.
communicating to you. That's what like this is what it is. I'm laying it out on the table for you. I don't want a relationship, but I want
You.
yeah, like I like certain things that you do, and I want to enjoy that when I want
we
to.
call it gray.
Are you okay with
That's
that?
very
That's the
great.
gray
But at that
area.
point, at that point, that's when they decide they want to stay there now.
Yeah,
You
can
have
take
a
it or leave
choice.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
you get
I
a
laid it
full
on the
choice.
table for you.
Okay.
Right.
So you got to lay it out like
That's
that.
right.
So Rosa, go ahead. You said you've been married before.
Mm-hmm. So it's marriage doesn't identify or change anything about a relationship if you are not just getting married at the start of the relationship. So if in fact you have a marriage where you guys have dated for years, it doesn't change anything because we were together the day before we decided to go to the courthouse and get married. And the day after, we still went back to the same apartment in Seattle, right? So for
Right.
me, it wasn't this pinnacle life changing. And for a lot of people, it's not. It's that old school feel and vibe people are looking for when you hear the term marriage. It's just a benefit. What was tangible, what was beneficial at the time, it worked for me. It's what I thought my family was doing and where I thought my family was going, right? So, and I was 17 when I met him, and I was 20 when I married him. So
Okay.
at no point in time did I know what I wanted, what I liked. I didn't understand what a healthy relationship was. Earlier, somebody said people are from arguing, hollering loud, and then they get with someone that's not accustomed, and their love, they were taught love differently, where it's quiet, where we communicate. So I was from the earlier part where, hey, we gonna, sir, I'll knock all of this over in here, and I mean it,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
ours,
The
and
dysfunctional love.
And replace it.
and replace it, and
Hey,
replace it. Do you hear me?
Like, my bad, I broke the vase.
Tomorrow,
man.
but
I was
today,
upset.
You gonna know one?
I
I
went
got
to
you
Pier
doing.
1 and I
Yeah,
got you one of
nobody.
these.
right, right. Do you
I
hear me?
tripped last
Okay,
night.
but when
I
you
tripped.
Man.
right,
Okay.
but when you
Go.
grow and you change, that's different, right? You learn, hey, I'm not into all of that. So it is it's not, marriage doesn't identify anything except for that's the standard that you and I agree on in a relationship.
Okay.
That's the pinnacle of it. Because otherwise it's people that's been together 60 years and never saw a marriage certificate, and they are big mama, they are big daddy. Nobody's
Yeah,
going to
we are
say
who we
anything
are.
about their relationship. So it's just a standard, right?
Okay. So marriage, you are the person that I choose to do life with. That's how we like to
Yeah,
phrase
right.
that in couples therapy. Like, we're doing life together. Whatever that looks like, we're doing it together. We made a decision that it's going to work for us the way that we do it. So with that being the case, you are my permanent emergency contact.
Right.
Yeah.
You are my, you're going to be my automatic nurse if,
Right.
Yeah.
if I get sick, right?
But you're my
You
beneficiary. Beneficiary.
you
Yeah.
get what's mine, and I don't mind sharing it with you because I rock with you like that.
I
I
want to
don't
share
want
it.
nobody
I
else to
want to
have
share
this
it
but
with you.
I want to
you.
share it with you.
You are my permanent date. So we go out. This is what we do. I'm expecting you as my permanent partner to be that first person. But if you're unavailable, when you're married, you're gonna call your partners or your friends. But this is your date. This is your person that you do life with. So if it's a trip, if it's the movies, if it's dinner, if it's, hey, let's go and just do some crazy stuff downtown, this is the person that you call for that.
Right.
The other side of it is that that person is equally vested in you the same way. That's what marriage is an equal investment of interest
Right.
and everything else that makes your relationship work.
Wow.
So you can meet 100 people that you like, but this one particular person is the one that's like, but I could do this with you till I'm 90 if we live that long. I can do this with you in another state. Like, we cool like that. I could do this with you broke. We don't have to have nothing, and I want to do it with you. That's marriage.
Anthony
That's
Hamilton's
what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we want, right? So why is it that if that sounded so good to everybody, I was like,
Yeah,
I was spitting that.
Yeah, you should have recorded that. Will.
I'll do it again. I'm gonna
Yeah.
write it. Get the
Go
book.
ahead.
Get the book when the book come out. But why is it that if we can all agree and we can all listen to that and feel good about it, that we cannot?
Do it. Huh?
We can't do it. We can't manifest that. Y'all want to manifest everything? Manifest that.
It's
That's why I'm
actions
single.
louder than
I'm working
words,
on
man.
that.
It sound good.
I'm single. I'm working on that.
Okay.
That's them not small feats. It's them serious things you asking
They
for
are
people.
serious, but like,
It's
You-
doable.
It's doable.
no.
Yeah. Like, are you that person that's really worth me putting all this work in to get to that point?
Mm.
Like, Really.
Rosa,
So
why
that's
you
where we get
laughing the
that.
way you laughing?
I ain't lying. She too tickled. And then saying over here like shooting it down. It was good, but no. But see,
Yeah,
still, I don't want to be
the
vulnerable.
backpedal, everybody backpedaling now, but I ain't with that though.
But it works in reverse too. Like, yeah, it works in reverse. Am I that type of person where I'm willing to do that with you? Can I feel you have to know this for yourself for sure that you can do this?
I can
You
do
can't be
it.
100. You can't be 75%. You got to be 100% confident. This is who I want. This is who I want to be with. She get fat, you still there. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got to know these. If she get crippled, you still there.
Yeah.
Wheelchair, you got to be able to change her diapers.
But that's
And you know what I'm saying?
but that's that 45 that they don't want though. That's that 45.
I mean, people getting shot, man. You know what I'm saying? She might get shot in a bad wreck. You stabbed in the stomach,
anything
and now
can
you changing
happen.
diapers.
Anything can happen. So like your marriage is that you're that anything can happen, and I'm okay with it with you, person. Like
Yeah.
that's the marriage. Like anything can happen. And I'm okay with that with you, Rosa. What you got? I saw you.
So is this just synonymous to monogamous relationships or any relationship? Just you and I, or any polygamy, just you and I.
Any.
Is this just this? Are these the standards just for monogamy?
These are
Because
standards.
is
for
that where we're
marriage.
speaking from?
Whatever, you and your spouse have to decide those rules on that point. I
all
think.
of
But
them
some
things
people-
Y'all
aside.
can turn
What
to,
Ah,
There you
If
go.
four,
Yeah,
if
drop it
four
down.
of you get married,
There you go.
so no one
All
knows
four-
if it's. So no one can say if it's okay. I got you.
yeah, like this is your thing. This is your man. This is your relationship with this person. But it comes with great communication. Like, are we communicating the way that we need to communicate so that we can be who it is that we want to be together? If you tell me, you know what,
Mhm.
I do want to be with you exclusively, but I do
Mm.
I want to be able to tell you also if something ever comes up where I may want to talk to somebody else. Like, tell me that. Let me make
Tell
that
me.
decision.
Right.
And give me the choice to compromise or not.
Right.
Now that's
Totally
fair.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people mess up at. They just automatically make this. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't want to get in trouble. Or I don't want to, and you lose that choice, and now it's automatically a bad problem.
That's
Right.
why you call it cheating.
Yeah, at that
And
point,
they-
you were just in the wrong. Even no matter if you cheat or not, you just in the wrong. You took the option away.
And they meet that person where they was like, well, you don't know what I would have accepted or what I like.
And-
You don't
Right.
know. I probably would have went with it.
I probably been down with that threesome, but what
Yeah.
up?
Because you broke that trust. So no, I'm not gonna do it now. I'm good. So
And that's always the thing where people are not able to be honest. Y'all, I had to come to my other device because the other died. So that's what I'm working on right now. To the point of being honest. Is it the fear of losing? If I'm honest with you and I tell you that I'm interested in doing something that I know you're not going to really go for, is it the fear of losing? Like,
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
got a good
That's,
thing.
that's all it
Oh
can
yeah.
be.
Okay.
There's no other
Yeah.
reason. There's no other reason not to be honest.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
feel like that's why a lot of guys get into relationships because
Yeah.
they like, if I don't say yes, she gonna stop cooking. She gonna stop giving me the booty. You gonna lose all the perks. So you
Well,
don't
yeah.
be honest and you just go. You be like, okay, babe, okay, and you just do it. And now you stuck in a scenario you didn't want to be in.
Okay, so instead I'm gonna lie and mislead and play the game. And the game is
Yeah.
dangerous, especially if the dealings have not been defined. So women, ladies, they say that we're the ones who can't handle the truth. Okay, that's what they say. That I lie to you to protect your feelings. We had this conversation on Tuesday here in studio, and I played the clip from Baby Boy where Jody told Yvette, if you really want to know the truth, I'm gonna
Really
tell
wanna
you
know.
the truth,
You
right?
bet.
I creep with them, but I lie to you because I love you. I protect your feelings because I love you. That ain't good enough.
From time to time.
Don't protect my feelings. Tell me the truth. I can handle it better.
But we say that, and then when they tell us the truth, and this is when I say we, I'm not speaking for us because we're different types of women,
Right.
but all the rest of us women out there in the world, we turn up. It totally changes. We want to hear the truth, then they tell the truth, then we go outside, we bust the windows, we play like we go outside in that moment. Like they telling us the truth, and we get up and walk outside.
Mid conversation, like I ain't even get to explain
We go,
why.
right, we go change clothes, put on all black and a hoodie and a face
Hey,
and destroy his vehicle. Then we
I
gonna
bust
drive to
the
Fargo.
windows at your car. Yeah.
We go all the way crazy real quick because that's the truth that
She
I
even
wanted you to
admitted it
tell
earlier.
me.
Yeah, she admitted it earlier. Like, yeah, she that type of that. She's been in them type of scenarios.
I didn't. Okay, so I wanted the truth, but I ain't know you was gonna say that. What you just said. Now, I'm supposed to do what with this truth you just told me? I'm about to kill you.
Hold on,
I'm
hold
like,
on.
man,
Tell
I
me the
should even
truth.
say. It was like,
Get yourself.
and see,
Get yourself.
But I'm just saying that's what happened. So, ladies, let's talk about why it's that way.
I want the truth. Like, tell me the truth so I can say, oh, okay, I can deal with that. Or, okay, well, it was nice knowing you. I'm going to go ahead out. But, I mean, at this point in my life, it got to be about honesty. Don't try to sugarcoat nothing with me. Don't try to, like, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the truth so I won't hurt your feelings. Like, nah, hurt my feelings. I need, I need to know from the beginning.
do it up front so that
Right.
I won't have to hurt you.
Mhm.
And I'm just trying to tell
Typically.
you, y'all stupid. We just trying to tell you.
but you're right.
comment
No,
here.
that's the gap.
We
We
been-
don't say it up front.
You just gotta be
Yeah.
upfront. Look,
By the time you get out there, we done got caught in it.
or
it's too
either,
late.
even if it's not upfront, it doesn't have to be upfront when we start dating, but it needs to be in front of the situation. So,
Yeah.
like, as you see something starting to happen or something changing, and I'm not just saying other people. I'm talking about like, hey, I lost 20 hours at work. They can kick me down to part time. And then you trying to figure out how to tell me, no, you need to tell me like that.
Yeah.
They kick me down to part time. So that's why I'm here all day when you still here. You trying to figure out why I'm still here. It's stuff like that.
Right.
Be honest.
That's
I
all.
love you. I love the kids, but I like her over here because she's stupid.
And I got a scenario. I'm not gonna put my business out, but I want to talk about that.
Hey, I promise to God, I had to get so quiet. Like, Lord,
On radio, it never has to be your situation. This could be a friend of yours.
Okay, well,
You didn't even have to say that. You could have just said it and then just let it go. But now
this
we
is
know
so
it is.
instant. Like, I mean, because it's
Speaking
so
for a
instant,
friend.
it's so fresh. It's like me and text now. Like,
No.
it's a right now scenario. But anyway, somebody socialize, date, like I say, gray area. We not together, but we not together. Scenario, gray area.
You're going to fix it today, though.
She,
you
She
learn.
listening.
she listened. This happened right
That's
before I
what's
came
up.
in.
That's what's up.
did.
I work at a club. I don't know if anybody work at. I work at a exotic dance, a gentleman's club. I work at a gentleman's club, and I got we cool, we flirt, we socialize, and it is a female that we. How would I say it?
You overly socialize with this.
No,
particular
but
female.
I feel like everybody has a work boyfriend or why would they say a work husband?
No, everybody does not.
False.
Go
I mean,
ahead
but
with
it's
the story.
false.
Anyway, but flirt. Long story short, flirt, conversated with it, and don't mean nothing about it because we do this often. So for me, if she says something to me, I don't do nothing about it because I'm used to it. And it happened around the female. Me and was out and about,
Yeah.
and she just checked the whole scenario. Still is, by the way, and
Still checking.
still checking since I left. But I mean, I didn't think it was no big deal because I'm not. I mean, she's cute, she's attractive,
Mhm.
but I'm not trying to leave my girl for her. It's just people socialize. I don't know.
Okay. So what socializing looks like? Like what does it look like to us? Okay, ladies. So let's help him.
So that
Jermaine,
was,
you might
this
want to
was
help
your
too.
opportunity to be honest. You
And
know,
I
she-
did, and I said, "Look, baby girl, this ain't nobody like that. This we just really cool friends. We only really because she cute, I'm cute, but we know she got a whole dude, I got a whole thing. It's not as deep as you in. Oh no, she wasn't
But
hitting them.
you probably flirting
But I-
and you're probably going over the line of, hey, we just cool
I can tell
like
you what
that.
happened. I can tell you what happened. She hugged me when I saw her, and she grabbed my butt. And I'm
Oh,
just,
she's weird.
yeah, I don't even know what. Like, this ain't even nothing that she do all the time anyway. It threw me off anyway. But maybe she didn't do it on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe she whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the
So
girl I was
can we-
with took
can we-
offense to it instantly, and I couldn't really catch it in time because I didn't know she was gonna do it.
But see, that's where your smarts come in because you said you just gave us like so much to work with right there. First of all, you said, I don't know if she did it on purpose or not. She
Yeah.
doesn't normally do it. The girl I'm dating was with me, so
She
one
did
thing
it
I
on
will say-
purpose.
She did it on
Right.
purpose, right?
Wanted to be seen. I don't know the
Absolutely.
scenario.
So look, let me say this.
Right.
One thing I will say about us is that when we feel a way or we want to prove a point, we go out of our way. I found
sure.
out about a person because she goes out of her way, even if the guy's
To be
entertaining
seen.
her. Yeah, you go out your way to make sure that people know that you like this
Right.
person.
yes.
I see you, but you
Yeah,
don't see
sure.
me doing that.
Yeah, like if you was with your dude, I ain't gonna come grab your booty. I was like, nah, they don't. I'm like, I would have gave her a high five. How you doing? Smack hands, keep it going. It wouldn't even been a hug.
Like simple.
Like-
But like so that's what we do. Like a lot of us don't know how to be cool and be
That's right.
okay. If we really are in a cool situation and we just cool, like be cool. Why you doing what you doing?
And she did. It
extra?
was like
Oh,
some
that's
LL
just
Cool
tough.
J's lower back slid down. It made a scene
So
enough
now
to
what
where
are you gonna do?
I'm gonna have her questioning
Well,
the
Mhm.
whole situation that me and you have. Even though if I don't want you, but I want her to have that insecurity in
and
her
I think
head.
that could have
Right.
been
So
a lot of bit on it
that's where
too.
you have to
Right.
talk to her and say what makes you feel insecure, what makes you feel like
Hence the reason why we haven't
right.
come up.
And so
Yeah,
and then
that's
you know how
good.
to address it if it happens again. Like,
And
hey,
it bet not
don't do
happen
that.
again.
Right.
And you're right.
Right.
That's why we gotta have the
Right.
conversation where it won't happen
You
again.
bet not let me see it happen again.
Oh man, y'all gonna turn up for. Okay.
You better
Well,
let
you
her.
brought your situation to life, so here you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
I ain't lying.
But that's
what
why I
I'm
brought it. I
saying.
wanted honest opinions,
We
choose from it.
appreciate
Yes,
that. Let me give you some
definitely.
applause for that too. That's big. That's real big. So let me clap for you.
And I do. I want to keep messing with her. So it ain't like, well, I want to say mess. I want to keep dating her.
Yeah.
So I don't mind not talking to her because it ain't like I was just trying to break away from her anyway. It's just somebody I was flirting with before. We still fresh.
Okay,
There
stop
we
talking
go.
about it now.
Yeah. Because we now you got solution. Now
Yeah.
you just need to put that action for us, sweetheart. Now you heard me. I said it on the radio.
Like,
I'm
what
trying to
more
be
do you
here.
want
Keeping it
from
real,
me?
baby.
100%.
Tyrese, hi.
What do you want from me?
Hey, Melissa Alexander. Let's see what Black is talking about. I like her because she's stone cold. Bruh. All
Yeah,
right.
she a whole pit bull. She pretty though.
See, now you messing up again. That's how y'all
No,
mess
I
up.
said,
But I'm okay with it.
any
Like I
conversation.
like a little feisty. So I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me the option to stay or leave. Don't not tell me because of how I'm plotting on you. Because now I'm plotting on you. So like, yeah, I need you to be upfront because then if I'm that's the thing. If I'm lied to, that makes me feel more vulnerable than anything because I was cool, everything was good, and you lying. All I had to do was be honest. So now when I know that I was giving my all, being 100 and, kind of keeping a clean slate. And then here you come with your lies and games. And then I find out or whatever happens. Now you got folk like Candace Andrea plotting. We don't want to be like that. We really don't want
She
to be
plotting
like that.
anyway.
Like who wants to act like nobody wants to just wake up and act this way?
You make me act like this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
you
don't
make
wanna
me-
choose violence.
You sound real Ike Turner-ish, right?
You making me do this to
You
you.
make me do this to you.
Women, we don't, ladies. How many of us started off in a situation and it was just like we went in feeling like we had to be crazy, or let me just go ahead and turn up one time to set the tone. We don't do
Right.
that. It's always a reaction, unless she really is just throw it off, and that's not most of us. All right. You're listening to Vital on B94.9 WATV. Third Sundays are dating, mating, and relating. And it's always good because this is what we do. This is where we live. This is who we are. We date, we mate, and we relate. So what else? Like there is so much to discuss. And this bed right here is the DMR bed. He says, I need some real good loving and some more stuff he says. But it's just the way that Ludacris told the story about what was needed, like yeah, I just had to listen to it. That's the song of the night. Him and Miguel. I need some real good loving. That right there. Something else that came up last night or yesterday. Being the other person. Like if you know that you are the other person, and I don't know how true this is. I want us to kind of get on it tonight. Is it true that no matter who you connect, y'all already said good guys got options?
Mhm.
I want a dirty dude then, because they don't have options. And I clean him up and put him in a bird cage.
That's why
or
they say get a
something.
fat dude, man. He gonna take care of you. He gonna love you. He ain't gonna go nowhere.
Nope. I'm gonna put him in a cage, put him in a bird cage. But look, the broken bird thing is a real situation. You'll go out and try to find someone that you can kind of mold to be the person that you want them to be, or that they need to be, or that you see they can be. And then once you do that, now they molded for the next person. Oh, what a travesty.
That's life.
What a travesty. But everybody that you meet is connected to someone, and it's somebody that's reaching back for them, somebody that wants to be connected to them. Do you automatically accept the fact that you will not be the only person? Is that automatic?
I mean, you realistically, like, to save yourself the hurt. I mean, like, you just gotta be real with yourself. That's part of the game. Like, so when it happens, you won't be so blindsided by it. Like, I'm not saying just be okay with it or just be open to it, but just understand that it can happen.
Like a every
Okay.
player get played type of complex or something.
But that's why I never played games. I can't play no card game. All I played was Uno. I don't play games. I ran track because we ain't had to do nothing but what we did. Like, I'm not
Well,
playing.
I don't play no games.
I ain't never played no games. Man, you
Ain't
sit
no
in the
game
gym, I ain't
play.
playing no games. I'm sitting up here. I'm gonna read this book.
In
'cause I'm
Kindergarten,
kindergarten,
folks
kindergarten, I
don't
don't even
play.
play no.
I don't play
I don't
this.
play no
Like Bernie
games.
Mac. I didn't even play a recess. Oh, they ain't
And
play
that's
recess.
real. Like that's real. I ain't like that right here to play games. Like, don't do that.
Mhm.
Okay. You feel me, Jack? Like, we ain't playing. This ain't
Right.
no
I
game.
ain't got time
I'm
for
saying,
that.
I'm saying,
I don't think it used to be like that though. Like now it's like that, but I don't think it like back then. It used to you could kind of figure out if you wanted to be with somebody or not. Now you be like, no, if they was with somebody else or not. Now you're like, I don't know, maybe it's cool, maybe it's that. Well, shoot, I'm talking to this girl and this girl talking to this girl, so it's like
all of that is so much other stuff, and
It was
that's why
simpler.
I asked. Like, so are we in a position now where we just have to say, I mean, I'm sure you connected elsewhere, and I just want to know, or is it somebody out there that's feeling like you're their somebody, and you don't feel that way, but they gonna try to come for me when they find out that we doing something because they feel like that's who you are to them.
surely.
Jeez.
I can say I've been that person where I can say I was dealing with that person and I was like, I don't want to deal with that person. And then I saw how they was with somebody else. Like, let me try to see, can I break this up a little bit? And then sometimes it was like, it was a game. Like, I know if I was able to get you back to
Mhm.
where I wanted you to be, I don't want you. And
I don't want you.
right. It was for some people, it's just a game. Like he
Mhm.
said, the girl
Yeah.
put her
Like,
hand
I
on his
wasn't
butt.
expecting
It was a
that.
game
Like,
to see
yeah.
what she could do.
Right.
Not necessarily meaning she wanted them, but I can see what I can get away with.
Yeah, what could you get away with?
Right.
Definitely.
Oh man.
And sometimes they don't care about the other people's feelings. Like, I know this person is genuinely happy over here,
yeah.
but I just
So I'm gonna just back
Right.
and let y'all do y'all because I see what's going on. But if I love you too, both of we fighting. It made the best woman man
Right.
win. Shoot, this is a competition.
No way.
So that's all the time. Like, I'm competitive, but I ain't out here trying to play games. So like,
Yeah, I ain't
we'll
trying to-
compete. I'm gonna be me.
Like, I
You
ain't trying to
gonna
break up no
win.
house, but if you got an
Right.
apartment, we you like
Let me get that
I
extra key.
break up an apartment.
No. What you
Yeah,
say?
I ain't breaking no house.
I would break up a
Say it.
section at home because you were supposed to be there anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
I'm gonna call your landlord because he ain't even supposed to be
it's
over here.
inspection time, baby. I'm inspecting.
I'm expecting.
So let's answer the question because I don't want nobody to feel like these are just some characters. To answer, we want to give like solid, vital responses to these statements and these questions. Being the other person comes with a lot of discipline. Like, okay, I accept that this person, they may not be married. They may
Yeah.
not be married. You know, they just may be together. But I want you.
Yeah. We can do
Yeah.
this the hard way or the
Yeah,
easy
yeah,
way.
but
I want
Easy.
you.
You gotta put the pressure on.
But like, I'm applying pressure and I'm okay with that. But where does the difficulty come in? Because like, we're just being honest about where we are in 2021, almost 22. Everybody's playing some kind of game. And I want us to be, like Jermaine said, let's just be real so we won't hurt ourselves. If we know that that's what it is, how can you safeguard yourself in that type of
You
situation?
just gotta monopolize your time. Like that's one of the things that like Lavelle say. Once you decide that this is the person that you want to be with, you just gotta monopolize your time to where I don't want to say can't be nobody else, but the majority of the time is spent with the person that
You-
Because
with
there
you.
could be somebody else. The other person may not need but 10 minutes and a phone call and a good morning text.
But see, you ain't worry about that because you already in your mind, you're like, it might be somebody else, but I'm monopolizing the amount of time I can get. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it to where you want to be with me the majority of the time.
Right.
Free game, free game.
In that situation, if it's like that, nobody's being real. So somebody gonna have to step up and be real and say, "Hey, I'm being honest. I don't want this. I want that." So
But you ain't gotta be like you ain't crazy. Like you know it's somebody else. Like
right.
I don't think nobody out here that's dealing with somebody just like super blindsided by. I had no idea that he had all like,
Right.
oh, I had no idea.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Like you
Like,
Right.
really?
I can tell you this. He gonna post a Christmas, Valentine's. You're gonna see at least 2 times out the year. He gonna
Oh,
have to
okay,
post
okay.
it 2 times out the year.
So that's where that social media piece comes in.
Yeah.
Like I saw, well, you know, so is that your friend? Or is that your friend? Y'all married? Y'all like, what is it? So
You can't
I
be
can
in
know.
denial.
Okay.
Right. Somebody go tag you.
But it's somebody there though. Like I don't even want y'all to even sit up here thinking ain't nobody there. Like it's somebody there. You just
There's
gotta,
somebody
you gotta,
everywhere, right?
You're right. You gotta put the pressure on. You gotta monopolize your time.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and bare my soul. So I found out I was the other woman because
the frat brothers knew I was the other woman, and everybody else knew I was the other woman. And when it
That
came,
was a safe space.
Hmm?
That was a safe space with the Frat Brothers.
Mm.
So that's I mean, like everybody knew except you. I would say.
yeah, everybody else knew, but I mean, I thought that I was the only one because I'm wearing the paraphernalia and things of that nature. But
Well,
when it came down to it, I was the other woman
You
because
in the safe space.
So the main woman was she not interested in that type of stuff? And you what like how did that all come up? How did it happen?
well, we were at the same school, so we were consistently in each other's face, consistently in each other's space, and things of that nature. And I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it years later, but he played it to where he lived a double life, where I didn't know anything about her and she didn't know anything about me.
Wow. It can happen.
Yeah, you have situations like
It
that where you have
can.
somebody that has a whole family and they not know, okay, well, you live in separate lives. How are you doing this?
Yeah. I
No,
don't
that
know.
can happen.
I don't know about
That's why I even say like with download dudes. Like, no, it happens all the time.
It can
Yeah.
happen. Rosa, I saw your hand go up. It can happen.
Come on, really?
I do think it can
Yeah.
happen. But so on the flip side of the coin, she's a woman that didn't know and didn't make a choice. I'm a woman that made a choice
Okay.
at a stage in my life where that's what was okay with what was going on in my life, right? And it wasn't it wasn't a it wasn't a need that wasn't met, right? He and I literally broke up because my emotions grew, right? We talked about that emotional thing, right?
Yeah.
Our dating was undefined, and by the time I was requesting it to be defined, I was already emotionally attached. So yeah, it was like, well, you knew I was married. I did, and I still know you married. But what I need for you to do is
What you gonna
this, right? And
I
we
need
did
you to
that for
do me, right?
5 years.
Right.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Like consistently, we
This is a
did that.
relationship.
We did that,
Oh, I
and
understand you. I definitely understand. Right.
so
And I think
it's
so
a
many people
it's a.
understand.
Mhm. It's not a desperation thing or what the other woman thinks or she's in destitute or she's over there weeping enduring for the night but joy come in the morning because he coming. We have understanding, sir. He can't
It's
get
not
you
there.
there, and it's okay. It's the understanding that we had, and as an adult participating in this three-way relationship, I was okay with the role that I played. I was okay with what I said I needed as long as my needs were met, right?
Right.
So I think the question was where does the other woman stand or the other person stand, in the
Yeah, just being the other
relationship?
person.
They stand where they're allowed, so
Right.
if I tell him this is my space, right, this is where I'm comfortable, and he makes me that comfortable and we understand each other and he reciprocates this feeling and my needs again are met, and I'm not just out here running behind the street like when I see you you don't see me, and I'm just
Why not? It's a
sir, don't
relationship.
play
Right.
and you'll
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
yes, so but that's crazy because that's what made me ask you about the monogamy. Like, because people are okay. Like, the wife know about me, I know about her. I stay over here, she stay over there. We have dry statements to each other all the time. And girl, you know what's going on, and I know what's going on. But
Wow.
we won't do the polygamy thing because oh my
Mm.
God, we're scared what people think. But we okay with them thinking that
But y'all
you
in
his wife
polygamy
and I'm.
already.
Come
So
on now,
let's
that's
go.
all I'm
Let's
saying.
Right.
do
What we
this.
really talking
Let's do
about?
this
Right.
before we start a whole nother topic. That's a great start for next month. But one thing about understanding polyamorous relationships and any other type of relationship is that they come with understanding and communication. It can't come where you find I bring somebody in and you have no clue that they're here, and now there's a
Right.
jealousy and there's a hurt and there's a problem, as opposed to being upfront. Hey, I want you, and I love y'all, and y'all love me, and y'all can love each other. We can all be happy. You never know what you will get until you present it, until you are honest. And I want people to start being able to be honest. If you need help being honest, hit me up 205-452-0111. Who gonna whoop you? Who gonna check you? You might who gonna check me for being honest? Like, that's my truth. Y'all can call my mom and dad. They ain't got nothing to do with my adult truth. They really
Right.
don't. They set the foundation. My family, they set the foundation. But as far as what I decide after that or on my own foundation, that's on me. So who's going to check you about your truth? Tell the truth, no matter what the situation is. If it's safe and it's legal, or if it's unsafe and it's illegal, and you ain't gonna serve no time, tell the truth. Tell the truth. It will save so many relationships. It will help so many people out. It will stop you from holding up somebody else's future. Like, if you know you ain't trying to be who they want you to be, tell the truth. I really don't like you like that. What I do like, though, is this that you do when we do this, and I want to keep you around for that. That's cool too. You can do that.
Right.
Do that. Okay. Any other comments? We got 2 minutes. Go.
I don't know. People don't want to hear that.
Go ahead.
But as far as I heard you say something earlier, like, how do you be safe when you know it's like, keep your heart safe when you know that it's somebody else on the side? And honestly, a lot of my relationship timeline, I was the side dude. I was okay with it. It kept me safe because I know I didn't have to get attached. I know she can't say nothing because she got a dude. She can't tell on me. Ashley gonna come. She gonna make sure I'm straight because she gonna make sure I'm happy. So I don't go do nothing.
Okay.
So like, it kept me. I was safe being the dude.
Being the dude.
Yeah, I was safe being the dude because I was like, cool, but I ain't the type of dude to go run off and tell stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. He didn't take too much. Is that he need like all day. Like I said, I need about a good hour and a half. We go to the movies or get something to eat, and then I'm good. I text you, and that's it. So it kept me from getting hurt in relationships, but I also ain't getting attached to nobody. I mean, it was a flaw to it. It is not 100% foolproof plan, but it kept me from, you know what I'm saying, putting myself out there. And every time I'm putting myself out there, I'm getting bit. Oh, I'm getting burnt every time.
Mm-hmm. So learn how to fish.
Yeah, metaphorically.
learn how learn how to, you got hooked. Learn how to fish, and that way you won't be out here in the wrong waters. I'm allergic to seafood. I ain't playing. Like, I'm going. I want something else. Find me something else, cause I ain't playing. This has been a great DMR, as it always is. Every third Sunday for the past, I don't know how long, this is what we've done. And we cover so many different angles of love and relating and dating and liking and lusting. And if you have anything that you ever want to contribute to the conversation, you can do that by hitting me up anywhere. Honestly, Google me. Google me. All right. Y'all have an awesome Sunday night for the rest of it, and then a great week. Thank you to all of our contributors online, and then to our virtual guests. You all did a great job. I think we may have some space for you. I like the energy. Yeah, stay tuned. All right. We out of here.
That was fun.
That was dope.
That was fun.
That was dope.
Rosa, you were late.